Hey, welcome to Start Simply. Nice to have you here today. What you see behind me is different rational cooking systems. There's the iCombi on this side, we have the iVario, and of course the star of today is the iCombi Classic. And before we start, I really would like to say thanks and congratulations to your new iCombi Classic. I'm very sure that you will see in the daily operations that you have, it will help you to streamline your operations. It will really maximize your output, and of course it will always guarantee standardized and high quality products running out of your kitchen. So that you can really operate it in a perfect way, that you really know how to use it in the best possible way in your kitchen and in your operation. We will have today this little series over here. I will explain hardware, I will explain how you do the settings, how you use the different cooking modes, programming, and so on. So just stay tuned and we will start right away with the hardware of your new iCombi Classic. Okay, before we go more into the hardware and the functions of your new iCombi Classic, I would like to draw your attention on the starter kit. The starter kit is always with every new unit, so it must be in your kitchen now as well. And in the starter kit, you find a lot of documentation regarding your new iCombi Classic. It comes, of course, documentation for the installation, which of course needs to be done by a certified service professional. But for you, very important is the application manual and documentation regarding the accessories. So everything that you need, every information that you might need for cleaning, running the iCombi Classic, and so on, way more detailed than I will talk about today, you will find in here. So please always keep that handy so everybody in your kitchen can access it at any time. Let's start now with the iCombi Classic. Okay, what we have over here is the control panel and of course the display. And when it comes to the display, we will talk more about that when we go into the different cooking modes. But important at this point already, because more hardware related, of course, is the central dial over here. You will always need the central dial to do settings in your new iCombi Classic. And you might not really hear it, but it's just like always goes in little steps. And every time you have done a selection, you can say, okay, yes, I would like to have it just by pressing the central dial. But now we go really into the iCombi Classic. So I open the door. And of course, what you see now, this over here is a 6 1x1 unit. So it means it has 6 different levels. By the way, today we only focus on the unit like that one over here, the 6 1x1 or higher. The XS version we do not cover in this video because it has a little bit different modification when it comes to hardware, cleaning, and so on. So only 6 1x1 and up. So if we look at it, we have of course our cooking cabinet over here, and one of the most important parts of your new iCombi Classic is of course the core probe. Well, what do we need the core probe? It's of course made for getting the best cooking results out of your product. Just think about it, you would like to do a chicken breast, you would like to get it whatever on 70 degrees, and you would like to cook it properly. You would like to ensure that whatever core temperature you choose, that you really reach this core temperature. We'll get into detail more about that later, but important to know right away is every time you use it, please make sure that the tip of the core probe is always in the thickest part of the product. That's the only thing that we really need to know about it. After using it, please do not let it hang down like that, because if you close the door, after a while, you might really not maybe destroy, but maybe you will cause any kind of issues with the cord over here. So there is a place for it to be, like a holder over here on the right side, and always store it back safely. Keeps it always running. No errors will occur when you do that, because nothing can happen to it, and it's always accessible for whoever would like to use it. So please store it always back over here. So our door. What you see over here, we have those locks on this glass door, and there's one additional glass that you can open up. Usually you don't have to do it. If you use the cleaning with your new iCombi Classic, and that's the good thing about it, now it cleans itself fully automatically. We'll come to that a little bit later. But maybe after a week or after a month, there is some debris over here, like on the inner part of the glass, and you would like to remove it. Please just use a sponge, some microfiber rag, something like that, just a little bit soap, and that's it. Please do not use any kind of stuff like stainless steel scrubbies, anything that possibly could destroy or damage in some way the glass or like the gasket, something like that. So that should be definitely enough. When you do the cleaning of the glass, please do the cleaning of the new LED display as well. So that is where the iCombi Classic gets the light from. So after cleaning, just lock it and that's it. Okay, when we talk about cleaning, let's quickly talk as well about the drip tray and the drain channel. So both you find over here. It's of course made like if you open the door, there's a lot of steam or something like that. So and it condensates over here. It's not dripping onto your floor. It's dripping into this channel, and then later it just goes in here and it disappears. So like those two as well, you have to check once in a while. Are they really open? Is there nothing blocking it, and so on? Maybe weekly task as well. Always, of course, depends a little bit on how you use your iCombi Classic. Like if you do heavy grilling with a lot of fat, maybe checking it a little bit more that definitely makes sense. So when it comes to the cabinet, there's another thing that I would like to talk is the one thing is that we have in here a drain sieve and of course the care drawer. Both you need later, and we explain that in a couple of minutes, for cleaning the new iCombi Classic. Like I said, one of the coolest functions ever if you work in a kitchen and you don't have to do that by yourself. But another thing in the cabinet is very important. If you would like to remove the hinging racks, maybe because you use a finishing system or something like that, I would like to show you how easy that is as well. So just go over here. If you would like to remove it, you just take it. Of course, please make sure that the unit like that one over here is cold, or use like isolating gloves or something like that so you don't burn yourself. You just lift it up. Then you go a little bit into direction in the middle of the cabinet and you can just remove it. Very easy. So it's like the idea is if it's inside, you go up like that and then you can remove it. And it goes back in exactly the same way, of course. Goes in. You find the position on the top. So now it's already locked over here and you go down and done. Very easy, like I said. So very important for the hinging rack that it's always, of course, locked in a proper way, because otherwise you won't be able to get the trays in probably. So you always check, but if it happens once in a while, you will learn from that mistake very quickly, and then you will always make sure that it's really in the right place. Okay, so another thing that you see over here when it comes to cleaning is the gasket. So that is, of course, made of a special kind of a rubber, and you would like to make sure that that is always clean, especially if you do grilling on heavy temperatures, let's say with chicken. Even after the cleaning, there might be a little bit left on the gasket. Again, just take a sponge, something like that, with a little bit soap solution and just clean it. Over here, the same thing. No stainless steel scrubbies, no aggressive chemicals. It's absolutely not necessary. Don't use that over there, please. When it comes to maintenance, there's an air filter over here. Once in a while, and you will find it as well in the documentation, you have to clean that. It really depends on the situation in your kitchen. It does not happen that often. And over here, you can't really see it, but maybe when I open this little cover over here, there's the USB port. The USB port is very important for uploading new software, let's say, or if you would like to download HACCP data or programs and settings. Of course, if you're already connected with the unit in your network, then you don't have to do that because you can assess it right away. So a small run-through was that. It was everything that you need about the door, like the setup in the cabinet, the gasket, and of course the air filter and the USB port. One thing I forgot about, and that is very cool as well, the shower. So the hand shower we changed a little bit as well, because now it has two spraying pictures over here. The one that you see right now, that's the jet. So like if you really would like to really add some water to it, but then you can change it as well to a spray pattern. So whatever is more convenient to you, you can use it both ways and you can always switch in between. So that was everything when it comes to the hardware. Again, have a look at your manual, just read through it. You will find a couple of additional things as well, and it makes definitely sense to read that at least once so you're really up to date on your new iCombi Classic. Okay, let's dive now a little bit deeper into the control concepts, like actually how to operate and how to run your iCombi Classic. So over here, what you have are the different cooking modes. You have a button over here for steam, for hot air, and of course for combination. And just let's press over here combination. So what you see on the display right now are all the settings that you can do now over here on the first level. So as an example, over here you change the humidity, and you can do it always in 10% steps. You can see it very easy. It always indicates over here with this little red bar, and it's the same with the temperature. Of course, you can do it by each degree Fahrenheit or Celsius. And over here, you change or you switch between a time setting and core probe. As an example, maybe you would like to do your chicken breast. It's a standardized product that you have, and you know it always runs 12 minutes, no matter what. So you can select over here 12 minutes. But sometimes you might have a product where you don't know exactly, because it has different calibrations, different sizes, and you don't know how long it will run, but you will would like to make sure that the core temperature that you desire is really right. So then you just switch over here now to the core temperature, to the core probe symbol, and you can change, of course, the core probe as well. Over here there are additional options. We will come to that in a couple of minutes. And of course the menu where you can assess the settings and so on. So if you press the button again, you're back in the standby mode and can do another setting or just prepare for another thing that you would like to do with the iCombi Classic. Okay, let's now talk about the cooking modes. I think one of the most important things to understand with your new iCombi Classic, because when do you use steam? I think that's pretty obvious, but when do you use hot air? What are the functions behind it? And when do you use the combination of both? So let me explain that a little bit more in detail. Again, we have over here the cooking modes: steaming, hot air, and the combination of both. Let's start with the steaming. What you see is the steaming is already preset on 100%, and if I press this, I can't change it. And that makes absolutely sense, because steaming always means like maximum humidity in the cabinet. What I can change, you can see over here, it's the temperature. And right now you don't see a Celsius or degree Fahrenheit. The only thing that you see is this symbol over here. And this symbol indicates the boiling temperature or the boiling point. So it means after installation, the iCombi Classic knows exactly at what height it is, and it can set automatic to this boiling temperature and boiling point. That is very important, because then we can ensure that we really have 100% saturated fresh steam in your cabinet. Of course, it's up to you to change this. The one thing is you can go down, or you can go even over boiling temperature. You see over here, and that goes up to 130 degrees or Celsius or 266 degrees Fahrenheit. So, and you can go down 30 degrees Celsius or 86 degrees Fahrenheit. If we set it on 130 degrees, in steaming, there's always some hot air in there as well. So we call that a forced steaming. So let's going back. If you're just looking for the regular steaming, make sure that you see this symbol and done. Over here again, like I already explained, time or core probe. Of course, you can change that in steaming as well, and the additional functions that I will explain when we talk about the combination. So the same. If we go over here, now of course I can set humidity again in 10% steps. I can set the temperature, I can set time and core probe. If we talk about the temperature in combination mode or in hot air mode, we're talking about 30 degrees Celsius to 300 degrees Celsius or 86 degree Fahrenheit up to 572 degrees Fahrenheit. So for grilling, a perfect temperature. Of course, you have additional functions over here as well, and you have the combination, the most important mode when it comes to cooking. And why is that? Let me quickly explain what is the difference between 60% humidity in combination and, let's go back over here to 60 as well, and 60% humidity in hot air. So, if you talk about hot air, that means, and we set it to 60%, that means the iCombi Classic makes sure that every excess of humidity that is higher than 60% will be removed out of the cabinet. But if there's less humidity, maybe only 30% of humidity in the cabinet, the iCombi Classic does not automatically add humidity to it. So that is important to understand. Whatever humidity you set, if you set it on 60%, everything that is more than 60%, the iCombi Classic removes the humidity. Everything that is below that, nothing is happening, just leave it like it is. So, and that is the big difference when it comes to combination. But because if I set 60% humidity in the combination mode, the iCombi Classic makes sure that as soon as we have too much humidity in the cabinet, it extracts it automatically. So we remove it from the cabinet, and if we go below, maybe only on 30% humidity, it actively adds humidity to the cabinet. So you can make sure that you always at 60% humidity. Very important for controlled cooking. If you do roast and so on, you can always ensure that you have the perfect humidity, of course, in your cabinet, and that way you can reduce cooking losses, weight losses in there, and yeah, of course, that is something that you really feel later in the yield of the product and at the end of the day when it comes to money. So, hot air, we only make sure that that all the humidity that is over your set point is removed. Combination, we really make sure that we meet exactly the point of humidity that you have told your new iCombi Classic. I think that's pretty straightforward. Let's quickly talk about additional functions. What you see over here is a preheating button. So it means like if you would like to preheat your iCombi Classic, this function is especially important when it comes to programming, which we will show in a couple of minutes. The opposite, of course, the cool down function. Let's say you just grilled chicken breast, so the cabinet temperature is very high. And now you would like to do a very sensitive product, like sponge cake, something like something bakery product, something like that, or an egg dish. So you cannot load it right away because the cooking cabinet is too hot. With that function, you can just make sure that the iCombi Classic really reduces the temperature, and then you can load your product. So there's no kind of cooking errors or mistakes because of the wrong cooking cabinet temperature. Of course, what you can change as well is the airspeed over here from very low to very high. That is important if you have sensitive products, or let's say if you dry fruits or kind of vegetable chips. You don't want to do that on a very high airspeed because it will all fly around in the cabinet. So you would like to reduce the airspeed over there. Looks funny though, but you don't want to have that. So the other thing is delta T cooking. Delta T cooking, you know that if you work a lot with, let's say, large roasts. Delta T cooking means the delta between the cooking cabinet temperature and the core temperature. And you can set a delta and it makes sure that it cooks your roast very slowly. We explain that, of course, more in detail in our documentation. But if you would like to set it, you do it over here. If you would like to go back, you always have this arrow over here and you press it. And on the same position, you find the menu. Programming, we will have a look at that the next. Then we have the care system. Like I said, for me, one of the most important things. Don't have to clean the iCombi Classic by hand. It goes automatically. And of course, the settings. And we will have a look at the settings as well. You go back again over here. And that's it. Let's go now into the programming. Okay, so I just explained the different cooking modes, and like I said, we would like to go now into programming. And for what do I need the programming? Let's say you have products that you always do in your operation, like a potato gratin, you do some meat dishes, some bakery products, and you have different settings, you have maybe even different cooking steps, that you have different temperature profiles that following this cooking program. So of course you would like to save that and have it in your new iCombi Classic, and you can even transfer it then to other iCombi Classics as well via the USB stick or connected cooking. But first comes first, let us first have a look at how does the programming work, because like everything with the iCombi Classic, even that is very, very simple. So as an example, what I would like to do is a very simple program, only one step, and that is for salmon. I would like to do salmon steak. My salmon steak should have a core temperature of 48 degrees Celsius, which equals 118 degrees Fahrenheit. And I would like to cook that salmon on 180 degrees Celsius or 356 degrees Fahrenheit. So, and I just do a program for that. By the way, I show you, of course, later when we come to the settings where you switch between Celsius and Fahrenheit. So let's start. First of all, menu, press over here, and then you press programming mode. See, that is empty right now. So I would like to do salmon. So, and to do the salmon, I do over here, I put in the name. So just give me a second for doing this. Salmon. So you see, goes very quickly. So, okay, salmon, name is done. Okay. What you see now is that the cooking modes are flashing. And that is because the iCombi Classic reminds you now that you have to select first which kind of cooking mode you would like to use, because then it is important to do the settings. So first always the cooking mode, then the settings. So I would like to do the salmon in combination, but if you do salmon, you don't want to load the product into a cold unit. You would like the unit to be preheated. And that is very simple as well. I already showed you the preheating function, like the icon before in the last sequence. So we find it here. And now I would like to do preheating. The temperature for the preheating I can set in the next step. So I select preheating, and another thing, after the preheating, I would like to get notified when the preheating is done. So I would like to have a signal. And the signal I select over here. Airspeed for me on that level is fine. Of course, if you want, you can change it as well. Go back now. And now I select the temperature. Like I said, 180 degrees Celsius or 356 degrees Fahrenheit in that case. So over here we have the green tick. Go on there. Done. So my first step is the preheating. But now there is a cooking step. And the cooking step I add very easy. You see this symbol over here with the little plus sign? I go on here. And it's always the same, and therefore it's very easy. It always asks you first which kind of cooking mode you would like to have. So I would like to have combination. 60% humidity for me sounds fine for the salmon. I go on 180 degrees, 356 Fahrenheit. And I don't want to cook it by time because I would like to have exactly those 48 degrees Celsius or 118 degrees Fahrenheit. So for that reason, I select the core probe and I go on 48. 60%, 180, 48. Okay. So now I have my second step, and that is actually the final step. So I don't have any kind of additional steps for the salmon. I just say, okay, that's it, that's my program. Go on here, and now I find the salmon over here. If I would like to start it, the only thing is I have to go on salmon, and the preheating starts. After the preheating, I will automatically get a signal, and of course when the product is fully cooked to those 48 degrees, 118 Fahrenheit, I will get a signal, of course, as well. So I can, of course, abort that over here. And I'm here with the salmon again. If I would like to delete the salmon or any other program that I've done, very easy as well. I go on here and then I do a long touch and it's gone. You see how easy it is to program the iCombi Classic. And when you maybe are looking for programs which are more complex with 3, 4, 5 steps, maybe with a ringing in between because you would like to add liquid to something or whatsoever, we will explain that in an additional video where we really go into all the functions that you have with the programming. But just for the start, for simple programs, very easy. You just always add the next step. You do the appropriate setting for the cooking mode, temperature, humidity, time or cold probe, and that's it. It's really, really easy to work with the iCombi Classic. Okay, let's now talk about cleaning. I already mentioned that the new iCombi Classic cleans itself fully automatically. So no manual scrubbing after the shift, you don't have to spray in any chemicals and so on, so all that is gone. And cleaning the iCombi Classic is super easy. I'm going to show you that now. So if you would like to assess the cleaning, you go on the menu and then over here in the care system. So in the care system you can see now that there are different options, different cleaning options. So we have a gentle cleaning, we have a medium cleaning, and we have a strong cleaning. Additionally to that, we have a cleaning without taps, so a rinse without taps. That means there are no chemicals involved, goes quite quick, and it just rinses or flushes the whole system with water. So we have a look at it. Over here right now you can see there's this little red bar again. I can just select the different cleaning steps over here, and that what we're looking at right now, that is the strong cleaning. So if I move forward, you see it's 2 hours and 30. If I move forward, it's a medium. We're looking at 141, the gentle 116, and then the rinsing one, that is only 22 minutes. So, but again, without chemicals, if there's fat and stuff like that in the cabinet, you should go for a real cleaning program with the chemicals. And the chemicals, of course, very important. The first one over here, this is the active green tab. That's the tab that actually cleans the unit. So all the fat, like everything that might have been burnt in the cabinet and all that. So that goes with that one. And for care, so for making the unit nice and shiny. And of course, for removing any kind of lime scale, you need the care tabs. And the care tabs, of course, go in the care drawer, which is over here. So you just put it like that in here. The active green tabs, they go in the drain sieve, which is over here. And what you can see right now, I'm wearing gloves, so every time you work with chemicals like it should be normal in the kitchen, you always wear gloves and sometimes even, depending, some security glasses for that. So let's select now our cleaning. So I would say let's go for a gentle cleaning. The gentle cleaning, always, like in every step, it shows you how many tablets do you need from each. So this is one of the care, which means always one little bag, not like a single care tablet, but always one bag, and one of the active greens. So if you would like to go for that, say yes. Now it shows you, okay, please remove any kind of accessories that you might have in the cabinet. I think that's quite clear. There shouldn't be any accessories in the cabinet. And it tells you to insert, of course, the care tabs. Care drawer goes in. And the active green tab goes in here. So the only thing left to do right now is you just close the door and the cleaning process starts right away. So that is very safe. And on the other hand, the iCombi Classic always tells you exactly the amount of chemicals that you need. So really, you only put in that much chemicals that are really required for the cleaning. That saves you money and, of course, is good for the environment. Okay, so the cleaning is done. The last thing that I would like to show you on the unit is the menu, or the settings behind the menu. So you press menu, and then over here you can press the settings. And in the settings section you can configure the iCombi Classic exactly how you would like to have it. So first of all, you can see over here, and I mentioned it before, you can switch between Celsius and degree Fahrenheit if you want to. Over here, clear, it's for time and date, so if you would like to switch that. Over here on top, very important, download of the HACCP and service data, because the iCombi Classic, of course, tracks all the HACCP data, and you can upload and download the programs that you already have made to another unit. So very important and very comfortable function, just because you don't have to do all those programs again. You just take them over here with the USB stick, I showed you the port already, and transfer it to another iCombi Classic. If we go back on here, we have additional functions. One is the ESG empty steam generator. You only need that if you have a mobile unit and you would like to empty the steam generator before you move the iCombi Classic. Over here, settings for the service technicians. Usually as a regular user you don't have to access this over here. It's anyway secured with a password. Font. You can change a font if you would like to. Let's say you work somewhere in the US, but you have a restaurant. We have a lot of employees coming from an Arabic country. So you would like to have that font in there. You can easily switch to another font and do all the necessary settings in the font of the country or the language. So really helps, especially if you work with very diverse stuff, if you work with stuff from different countries, to customize your iCombi Classic. Last but not least, over here, QR code. If you would like to get your iCombi Classic in a network, you just can scan that with your mobile device and you're automatically in connected cooking. Of course, we show in a separate video how to do that. So if you go back over here, that's it. You see as well over here the settings for the network, for connectivity. So you see everything that you need to set up the iCombi Classic to your needs and to your operation, you will find in the menu. Okay, so we talked about the hardware of the iCombi Classic. We talked about the different cooking modes, how you program the iCombi Classic, the cleaning, and of course the menu and the settings. So, but to get the best results out of your iCombi Classic, you need original, rational accessories. And there are so many, it's quite hard just to introduce you to all of them, so I just have a small selection of those. But that's not a problem, because in your starter kit you have a brochure which is called Rational Accessories. And in this brochure, the Rational Accessories brochure, you will really find all the accessories that are available by Rational. As an example over here, the roasting and baking tray, which I have here. The roasting and baking tray, just imagine it like a regular pan. So it's quite light, thin, and that is made for transfer the heat as fast and as quick as possible to the product. So like as soon you load it, you will see it, it starts to fry right away in your iCombi Classic. It has a Trilex coating, so nothing is sticking on it. Perfect accessory from our example, let's say for the salmon steaks, or like something like a breaded scallop. You can do on here, please. This accessory, of course, you can clean in a dishwasher, but don't use one where you have those little granules in there, so they might destroy the coating after some time. But other than that, just put it in the dishwasher. All the accessories, there's one rule: if they're really hot, coming right away out of the iCombi Classic, don't just drop them into cold water, because after a while this is a little bit too hard to the material and you might kind of shorten the lifetime of the product. So baking sheet, very important, one of the most important accessories that we have. The next one is a granuled enamel tray. So that is something more made where we say the first tray was more for breaded scallops. This is something when you would like to do a cordon bleu, a little bit thicker product, and you would like to have the heat transfer a little bit less, but of course very even as well. You have the thing with the granite enamel, they come in different sizes and depth, so you can always make sure that no fat is running out. Let's say you do cordon bleu, of course you can see it over here, nothing will kind of run from the tray into the cabinet. So the same over here, there's no Trilex coating, like I said, it's a granite enamel coating, perfect for any kind of roast, for bigger pieces of meat and so on. The deeper versions, of course, you can use for things like a stew, a ragu, and so on. Next one of my favorite, I have to say, that's a cross and stripe grill grate. Cross and stripe grill grate, you see on this side over here, you have this diamond shape grilling marks, like if you would like to do fish or steak, and on the other side, if you just turn it, you just have the stripes, however you like it more. But the beauty is in another detail. You can already load this prior to service, let's say with steaks or with fish. You can have it standing in your walk-in, and as soon as you need it, you take it out cold and load it cold in the iCombi Classic. The energy in the iCombi Classic and the material, they guarantee that you will get beautiful grill marks on your products, even when loading it from completely cold. The same thing, Trilex coating, and over here, the same advice, never really drop it from boiling hot into cold water. It's not good for the accessories. So like I said, there's much more. And I would like to show you only some of them over here. So we have Chicken Super Spike. That's made for if you would like to do kind of chickens, whole chickens. You put them with the cavity over here on top, so the air circulation ensures that it cooks very evenly and very quick. You can have that, of course, for duck as well, like in another version. So the combi fry, we didn't talk about that. You can do products like wedges and pre-blanched fries in the iCombi Classic without having to use any additional fat. So you just use that accessory and you get beautiful fries. Multi-baker, any kind of egg dishes, little tarts and so on, you can do in this accessory, those small molds over here. The same like the other accessories, Trilex coating, so it's non-stick. And then some more grilling and kind of pizza accessories. So we have the grilling and pizza tray, which is that one. That is quite heavy, and that means it needs to go in the iCombi Classic already while preheating. So on here you can make beautiful pizza, and on the other side you have those stripes, but very small ones, maybe for grilled vegetables and so on. Another option when it comes to grilling and roasting is our grilling and roasting tray. You can see over here you have those grill pattern as well, but there's no chance that any fat can run into the cabinet, so it has this girdle over here, and on this side is the same. Of course you could do pizza on here as well and all those things, or if you would just like to short fry some of the products, like let's say some pork fillet or something like that. Last but not least, just to have one more example, this is for baking products. Of course you see flexible, not made out of metal, so like you would use it in a bakery for muffins, but you can do of course soufflés and all that stuff in there as well. Still, only a very short overview. Again, if you would like to know more about rational accessories, just do me a favor, read through it. You can see exactly for what those accessories are made, and I can guarantee you, if you're looking for something for a special application, chances are extremely high that you will find the right accessory in this brochure. Okay, now we talk quite in detail about your new iCombi Classic. So the hardware, how you use it, and even the accessories. But there's way more with Rational. Because since you now are the proud owner of an iCombi Classic, we would like to make sure that you use it really to the full extent. That when it comes to efficiency and quality, you use it in your daily operation, and that you see and experience with your team how easy and how efficient it is to use the iCombi Classic. So for that's what I do right now over here, just via video. Unfortunately, you cannot ask any questions right now. But there might be some questions, and maybe you would like to see the whole demonstration live in your kitchen again, maybe with your team that you have. So just call our local subsidiary and they will set up a meeting. One of my colleagues in your country will be very happy to assist you and just spend some time with you to explain the iCombi Classic more in detail. Sometimes it happens you would like to do a product and you right now at this moment you have no idea how to prepare it in the iCombi Classic. Just call our chef line. The chef line, there will be a colleague happy assisting you via telephone and guiding you to all the necessary settings and answering all the questions that you might have. And sometimes you just would like to have more, would like to know more, and maybe you would like to have a specific solution for your kitchen or a special training for your staff when it comes to the iCombi Classic, or even maybe when it comes to other topics. We offer individual consulting, so even for that, just call us and we will make you an offer where you can see how you can realize rational training with one of our certified chefs right in your operation or in your kitchen. Okay, so that's it from my side for now. You see, I introduced you now your new iCombi Classic, and I'm very sure that after a very short time you will be happy working with this unit. You will see how easy it is, how efficient it is, and how the results are that you get out of it. But sometimes it requires a little bit playing with it. So maybe try products that you usually never would do in a combi steamer. Try it in your new iCombi Classic. You will be surprised how great the results will be that you get out of it. And like I said, whenever you have a question, just call us. We are always there for you. So at this point, I just have to say thank you very much in trusting you. Thank you very much for your purchase. Congratulations again, and hope to see you soon in live.